It might have been making Roger Corman B movies, but that was to learn how to work the camera, right? That was learn how to direct. They knew about movies, and kids today, no offense, no, don't. You know, they just don't. You know. My name's Michael Krugman. I'm a writer from New York, living in Cardiff. I grew up in New York in the 70s. Music was always a big part of my life. Going to clubs, going to see bands. By the time the 90s rolled around, I became a music journalist. I wrote for a number of magazines, Rolling Stone, Ray Gun, things like that, a number of online things. Ended up writing a number of books. I wrote a book called Generation X in 1994. I wrote a biography of Oasis. And then wrote a number of books about professional wrestling after that. I've interviewed so many artists at this point. It's ridiculous. I've made friends with a great number of people. I've traveled with a lot of bands. It's sort of one of the luckiest things is that you get to spend time with people that you admire their work and things. Some really famous names, some less famous names, some totally non-famous names. I grew up as an American, you grow up listening to classic rock, a lot of FM radio. So your basic, your Beatles, Stones, Who, Zeppelin sort of canon. But from there I got into punk rock. It was 1978 and punk rock was right there, so that would be part of it. So I grew up going to CBs and Max's and places like that, seeing everybody. Going to see bands was always a part of my life, 4 or 5 nights a week kind of thing. No, I mean, I saw, I hung out, it was just my life. I saw everybody. I mean, it's not, I've become sort of, as I've gotten older, I've become the old hippie guy that tells stories about seeing Hendrix at Woodstock, but I basically saw Hendrix at Woodstock. I had dropped out of high school when I was 14 years old. Didn't go to school after that. I basically dicked around for a while, did some construction, worked a lot of odd jobs, retail. I worked at bookstores for a while, where I made a friend who was a journalist in college, a university journalist, worked on a newspaper paper. And he hooked me up with a fanzine, and I started writing record reviews, and I took to it like that. And it just happened like that very quickly. So I went from writing, free record reviews to getting, national publications rather quick. I was at South by Southwest with my friend, and drunk at a bar with another friend. Ended up doing a long riff about kids today, and he turned out to be an editor at a publishing company and suggested we write a pitch, which we did, and next thing I knew, I was a published author. It was pretty great. It was pretty exciting. So it was 1994 the book came out, which was sort of right on the money for the whole Generation X phenomenon. So it was good. We did a lot of press, we did a lot of TV, I got a lot of attention, blah, blah, blah. We sold some books, but didn't capitalize on it. In classic Generation X slacker terms, we just sort of let it lay there. My personal choice of best era, it would be post-punk, 1980 to 87 or so. I think that's when there was the most amount of invention and creativity and this sort of boom period where anything goes in a way that there never was before. And that's carried on.